As I look at my life, I'm a product of Christianity, Islam, and Buddha. And do I love all of them? Of course I do. Because they all treat me well, and they all showed me good things. But I had to go to that naked woman in the jungles of Africa. Why? Because she connected the dots. She was the one that showed me that in order for us to heal, we had to use alkali substance. We cannot use any acids. Right in Washington, D.C., there is to occur two things that I must share with you that is important. Your brother Sebi, the uneducated boy, had to go through some of the most challenging moments with the physicians. Washington, D.C., Achilles trial, sickle cell anemia. The doctors cannot cure sickle cell. Oh, they can. They can't cure anything because the methodology is off the mark. So Achilles trial has sickle cell. She's 2. Her daddy came and snatched her out of the hospital against the doctor's will and knowledge. Took her to Silver Spring. I began to treat her. 3 months passed. Achilles is well. She doesn't have the upper pulmonary disorder, which is the company of sickle cell, which is thalassemia. Am I right? The little girl is playing, she's happy. Why? She's lacking of iron. We all are lacking of iron, including me. So they caught up with us and took the parents to the hospital with the police and took me in a police car from 2010 Kendall Street Northeast in D.C. to the hospital. Well, me, I'm a regular looking man all the time. I dress like this all the time, but just funky. And I have these funky shoes on. And I had these Birkenstocks on that were bare feet. And in walks in the superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Steinberg. This is showdown time. The boy from the jungle against philosophy. Who is this man? That's me. They said, that's Dr. Sebi. What kind of doctor are you? I said, well, I don't know what kind. I didn't know we came in kinds. You know, I had people when they need help. I don't know how to be a kind of. But before we get into this very tasteful dialogue, I want to submit to you the log that I kept for 90 days that I gave it to the girl, her diet, and what I gave her as a substance to reverse sickle cell anemia. She goes through it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh! You did not give a killer any protein. Oh my God. This man didn't give the child any protein. I said, I don't even know what is protein. Because I don't know. I'm 81 years old. I've never found protein. Unless the great Dr. Sebi think that protein is a necessary food. I said, I didn't say that. You say that. But as for protein, is it electrical? Why do you ask that? I said, because the human body is made up of 102 minerals, and they all are electrical. The body doesn't assimilate anything unless it is electrical. Nothing unless it is electrical. That is how the body assimilates things. Is protein electrical? And if it is electrical, Dr. Steinberg, it has to have a certain amount of electrons per atom. Well, I don't know that. Protein is one of the 19 amino acids, the building block of life. Oh, God. I said, I'm really confused. Amino acids. The human body is not made up of amino acids, nor any alphabetical letter like vitamin A that they found in carrots. The body is made up of minerals. So where do we accommodate amino acids in the human body? How do we do that, Dr. Steinberg? Dr. Steinberg, I'm confused. You're leading me in a path that it was virtually unknown to me. Amino acids, are they electrical? I want you to identify protein. Nobody can. You can, I can, and nobody can. It's a made-up word. Has no place in the human body.
And they got the fall on the mountain. Now we find ourselves in a hospital. Dr. Steinberg, upon noticing that in the 3 months that I was treating the child, I made a log of everything she ate. She noticed this one particular thing. I didn't give her killer protein. Boy, did she jump on it. I noticed here that you didn't give her killer protein. Protein? She said, yes. I said, Dr. Steinberg, are you sure that you want to rest your argument on protein being the base of your premise? She said, yes, unless the great Dr. Sebi believed that protein is an unnecessary food. I said, I don't know anything about protein. I said, you forgot something. I'm the child of that continent that you call Africa. And we didn't know anything about protein then. Do you? What is protein? Protein is one of the 19 amino acids, the building block of life. I said, Dr. Steinberg, that is the response that I get from everyone. That protein is one of the 19 amino acids. But the body needs acid. What could the body do with acids? The body is composed of 102 minerals, not one acid. The body is alkaline. The body is carbon-based. I said, furthermore, being that the body is carbon-based, it is electrical. It moves. And there could be no movement unless that movement is electrical. Now that we understand that the body is electrical, the food that would feed an electric body would necessarily be electrical. How many electrons per atom does protein contain? I don't know. You use protein as your premise. You should know all about it. Do you know that Dr. Steinberg didn't know about protein? And do you know that nobody in the audience knows about protein, neither do I? And why should we know about that? Because they told us that protein is a necessary food. And we believe that.
If someone lacks a lot of carbon and copper within their bloodstream, is that like the reasons why they would need to have like a wide array of other like proteins like coming from animal flesh and things of that nature to compensate for that? Is there any relationship between those two?
You mean with protein? and the condition in the body?
Right. Like with the what you were saying, like as far as like.
I'm glad that you asked the question about protein. Protein is a word that we all are tied to, like melanin. Melanin doesn't exist. Protein doesn't exist either. Protein is a word that they gave us to use. But if you ask someone a very intelligent question, Mr. Professor, is it a fact that the human body is electrical and that it is alive? Yes. Is it a fact that the body that's alive need live food? He said, yes. Okay. Is protein alive?
Well, plant proteins would be.
Plant doesn't have any protein. Plant has minerals. There isn't a plant in the world that has protein. They have 102 minerals. Nothing to do with protein.
Got it. Okay.
Protein, vitamin, and enzymes. These are artificial foods, artificial words that has nothing behind them. Look, when we live in the forests of Africa, look at the way we looked when they brought us here to make us slaves. We was very firm. And they didn't have any protein. They didn't have any chickens. They didn't have any cows. They didn't have any hogs. They didn't have any land because those things are imported to Africa. Those things are not found in Africa.